Hello, my joyful soul community. How are you? Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. Please, 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 if you're watching for the first time, click on the bell. Click on the bell so that we can share this message with more and more people. And if you like the video, I cannot stress enough, guys, please like it, hit the like button, the little thumbs up, and or share it with as many people as you can. That way, these messages get out to as many people as possible, and more people can begin to feel just supported, right? The support and the love that I'm sending in these videos is meant to help all of us during this time that we are living through and living in, so that we can have our best experience ever, right? And have our best life. So today's session is kind of a sequence. It's kind of a continuation of um, the forgiveness video that I did earlier, where I talk about forgiving infidelity. And this is the flip side to that one. So I just want to say that I know I'm not the only person that has had this experience in the world, but just as a general comment about forgiveness in general for everybody in your life that maybe in your feelings or in your thoughts have done something to hurt you, betrayed you somehow, maybe weren't 100% honest and totally upfront with you, whatever it is. Sorry, guys, this is gonna be an emotional one. So I'm just kidding. Um, but whatever it is, we are called, we are going through this ascension process. We are going through a spiritual evolution. Call it what you want. It could be, and a lot of people are saying, oh, wow, the world is changing. We're going through these big changes on the planet, in the earth. However you decide to view it, it's still an opportunity for all of us to let go of things that do not serve us anymore. And that happens naturally. It happens when it's time for you to do that. Your soul kind of knows, you have these little nudges, these little kind of intuitions of like, whatever, I'm just going to call her and we'll be done with this. This is ridiculous, right? Whether it's family or friends or whoever that is. Um, so for me personally, I could count on one hand how many people I've had these kinds of experiences with, where they're really big things in my life, big moments, where things just kind of went wrong, where things just fell apart. Um, I've been lucky in that way. I've been very blessed to not have had that, right, happen so many times for me. Um, but there are big ones, regardless, regardless of whether there's a few or whether there's tons. They were big ones. They were things that affected me in a way that inhibited me to live my best life, to feel the best I could, to be at peace in my heart, and to really just chill, and not have that in the background all the time. Um, I remember, when I talked about this in my last video, I remember hearing, lots of people say, well, forgiveness is good. You got to just forgive. And it was hard. I'm not going to play it down. Infidelity is no joke. And it was very hard for me to do that. It wasn't easy, but it came in stages. It came in, like I said in the last video, kind of like peeling back an onion. Um, and I realized that there was a lot of things I was holding on to, because I just wanted to feel vindicated. I wanted to feel right. I wanted to feel some kind of like, okay, you really are sorry, right? Really, truly. And I've come to understand that a lot of that also had to do with just staying in victim mode. Victim mode, everybody, you get a lot of attention when you're the victim, right? Everybody's on your side. And sometimes I mean, it's good and it's not good, because then you can take it to that next level where 3 years later, you're still the victim. And at some point, you got to let it go, right? But you also have to, it's called self-actualization. And it's accountability. It's also taking that time to really look at things, not with rose-colored glasses. You got to take those off. It's time to look at things and say, okay, where did I not practice love in this situation? Where was I off track in my thoughts or in what I was talking about or what I manifested for myself with all my continuous blah, 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 blah in my head. And then your actions, right? Where did I not act lovingly? And so it is important to do that work, you guys. It really is, I have to say, because that is also freeing for you to be able to see that part of yourself and say, wow, okay, yeah, all right, I could do better. I can choose again. I can be different next time. Because here's the thing, guys, the bottom line. We are going to have lots of opportunities to choose again until we choose correctly. Okay? So that said, when I forgave my ex-husband and moved forward, that took care of that part of my heart that felt damaged. That took care of that relationship between him and I. But I had not yet come to terms with the other part of that whole situation, right? And I didn't want to deal with it. I didn't want to. I was not afraid, but I was just like, how do you deal with that? How do you face that person and say, wow, okay, the hell, what was that about? Um, because it's uncomfortable. And I'm probably there's a lot of us that do not like conflict. Okay. I am not a conflict person. I do not like conflict at all. I just want love. I want everyone to be like, right. I don't like conflict. Um, and I didn't have the words. What was I gonna say? You know? But over these years of really taking stock, of really looking at everything, I had this realization in my heart that came in probably about, I would say, a month or two ago in one of my meditations. It just came up. And I wasn't thinking about the situation anymore. There wasn't any reason. So I know that spirit saying, okay, Letty, you're ready now. But this thought came into my mind that said, okay, you cannot lose someone who wants to be lost. And I'm going to say that again. Okay. For anybody that's had an infidelity issue, whether you're the person that was unfaithful or someone was unfaithful to you, you cannot lose a person who wants to be lost. Getting that? Okay. That said, I realized, wow, okay, we were already in trouble. It wasn't Shangri-La. It was not, we weren't living in the Shire, right? It was not perfect. We were already facing some issues, and neither of us wanted to talk about it. We got busier, we spent more money, we got more in debt. Um, there were people all the time. We were surrounded by friends, surrounded by family and events. I was traveling a lot. So rather than face things, and I mean, like really face things, um, we just kept going. We just kept going and going and going and going and going. And I realized that the reason I had that message came through in meditation was because I no longer had resistance to it. I had no resistance anymore, simply because I had already reached that point of total forgiveness for him. And I really was just, I was so excited about my new experience, my life, my family, my girls, my husband. So there was no resistance. I wasn't dragging it, knowingly. It wasn't in my consciousness. It was no longer here in the front, but it was in the back. So because there was no blatant resistance to any of this stuff that had happened in the past, and I kind of let it just be what it was, I got this little message, okay, that came in. And I thought, well, that's random. Okay. Well, you can't lose someone that wants to be lost. Okay. And I just let it sit there. And I paid attention to what it was, and I paid attention to what that meant in the sense that, yeah, it was our season was over. So it was just more confirmation for me that our season was over, and no harm, no foul, right? We're good. Everything was good. So fast forward 2 months, and I'm at this event, and it's been hot over here where I live, so it's been pretty warm and lots of humidity. And I was at this event all day and I was just exhausted and tired. My face was melting. Yeah, all this was coming off, right? And I thought, oh, can't wait to go home. And then I got a text message from a dear friend and was like, hey, I'm going to be at this place. I really want to see you. And I thought, oh, I don't want to, want to go. And I got the nudge right here. You should go. You need to go. And to be honest, guys, I thought it was going to be to see my friend. you know um I know he's been battling cancer for a while, so in my thought process I thought, okay, spirit's telling me to go because he's got his cancers back or whatever. So I went, and I was um I was nervous. I was nervous because I've avoided this my hometown forever. um Simply because I knew that's where this person was. I knew that's where she was. And I didn't want any chance encounters. I had avoided it for years. And I limited my life because of that, right? I limited myself. Because of that. I didn't want the chance encounter. Well, so I'm at this event and I walk in and I'm like scanning. And then I saw the coast was clear. So I sat down and I was visiting with my friends and I was having a good time and everything was great. And then this other friend of ours, she goes, Letty, hey. And hey, come here. And she tells me, so and so just walked in. And I know there's people out there that have totally had this experience. I was like, ugh. And I sucked in my stomach. I got all, you know, why, who knows, but I did. And I just was tense. I felt this tension and I thought, oh my God, oh my gosh. Now, I'm a lover, not a fighter, guys. I don't like I don't like conflict. So I thought, what is this, the meaning of this? And then I realized, gosh, oh, that's why I'm here. And I thought, okay, this is my moment. This is no coincidence. Everything is a coincidence, synchronicity all the time. And I knew I wasn't alone. I knew I wasn't alone. I had my guardian angel. I've got all my peeps with me. I've got the Holy Spirit. I've got God. I'm not alone. And I have the light inside of me. Well, it was a half hour of kind of uncomfortableness. And then I just decided, you know what? Screw it. Ugh, this is ridiculous. At this age, come on, Letty. So I just decided to whatever. I took a big breath. I was like, I'm gonna let it all hang out. And I had fun. And then we had some friends come over. We were having a great time. Everything was, and I just kind of forgot. Well, then it got late and I had to get home. So I said, I'm going to head out. And I did scan, didn't see it, didn't see her. And I thought, okay, coast is clear. I can go now. Right. So my friend was like, walk you to your car. I'll help you out. And I was like, okay. So we're talking and we're walking and I get into the doorway and right in front of me was this person, 2 feet, like from me to you, right? And I had this moment, guys, where I went, oh, I know, I know. And like when you see those movies, like fast forward, you see all these different scenarios that could happen. Well, they all flash in front of my eyes, right? And and then I just said, this is my moment. This is it. This is it. What am I going to choose right now? Am I going to go down into the battleground of anger and hatred or judgment or whatever? Am I going to be someone that I'm not? Or am I going to choose love here? What am I going to choose? I had a moment, and we have free will. Okay? God can show us the light, but whether we walk toward it or not is up to us. And there's no judgment. It's a decision, it's a choice. He's going to love us anyway. God's always going to love us no matter what. And I just had that moment, and I looked at her, and there was a light right above her. And I saw her soul. Not kidding you. I just saw her soul. And I went, oh my gosh, she is a child of God. Wow. Okay. And I am a child of God, and we are one. So what do I choose? And I walked down and I just went straight to her. She had a smile on her face, I have to say. And I don't know if it was a nervous smile. I probably was. And I just looked at her and I said, "Hi, how are you? You okay?" And I squeezed her arm a little bit and I just nodded like, "It's okay. It's good." And then I left. And my friend was running up behind me. He was like, "Oh my God, oh my God." Right. And I said, "Just keep going. Let's just go." So we walked outside. He said, "What was that?" Letty. Like, oh my gosh. And I said, that was love in action. Love is what love does. And if I want the world to be loving and forgiving and peaceful, then I have to be those things. It starts with me, not anyone else. I can't put the onus on everybody else. Oh, you have to be loving, you have to be forgiving, you have to be, but I can be whatever and go in and knock it out. Why go 2 steps forward and 5 steps back? That makes no sense. Because as a collective, as a as a total unit of people around the world, we all contribute to the energy of this world. I've talked about this, right? We all contribute. So who am I to say, well, you guys can do it and talk about it on YouTube and everybody, we need to do this. And then in my moment of truth, choose not to. Say that I'm not being, then I would not be working in my integrity. I would not be impeccable with my word. I would not be walking the walk. I'm talking the talk, but I wouldn't be walking the walk. And I just knew that. But more than it being about the world at that point, it was about this person. It was about this connection. And it was about letting it go and really breaking free. Finally, really just peace be with you, man. You know, it didn't kill me. That whole situation hurt like a son of a gun, but it caused a lot of growth. Okay. It was not to my detriment, it was to my benefit. That is how I see it. It hurt. I'm not saying it didn't hurt. It was sucky. Gosh. And I went through it, but was for my benefit. Who knew 7 years ago that I would be here right now in this YouTube channel, wherever this is meant to go, whatever God has planned for this channel, and all the people that are going to watch this video, one of you, somebody out there is where I was. And so if I can tell you, this is how, it gets better. It does get better. I promise you, because there's nothing wrong with you. There is nothing wrong with you. You are lovable. You are a beloved child of God. Your soul is intact. Your physical mind, your physical heart, hey, it's hurting. Or maybe it was hurting. Now you're getting a little bit better, but you're still holding on to all that resentment. You're still stuck in the past instead of staying in your present, and you're worried about the future. Don't even worry about the future. The future hasn't even happened yet. And don't go back there. Don't keep bringing it on. You know what I realized, guys? After my friend left, I sat in the car and I took the biggest breath I've ever taken in my life. I had no idea I was holding it for 7 years. I was holding my breath for 17 years. Why? And I didn't realize I was. I thought I was moved on, and I moved to Mexico and I came back and I had all these experiences. Well, guess who went along? She was in my back pocket the whole time. She went everywhere, frequent flyer miles, right? I mean, I took her with me, and she wasn't paying any rent. And she probably didn't even know she was going. I know she had no idea. I did it because I didn't want to let go. I couldn't let go. I could not face it. I could not face it. It was like massive rejection. Oh my gosh, there is none. Guys, please understand. When a season is over, it has nothing to do with you, what you look like, what you said, what you did, what you didn't do, the job you had, how much money you made, what your toenails look like, what kind of hair you had, whether you wore makeup, whether you didn't, whether you were skinny, whether you were fat. It had nothing to do with that at all. What it does have everything to do with is that other person's need to move forward, okay, to experiment something else, to try something else. Now, there are ways to do that are more loving, obviously, right? I've had many friends in these last couple of years separate. Their season is over and they do it lovingly and they're still friends and they're blessing one another and they help each other out. And I've had a couple of friends that it wasn't that way. Mine wasn't that way. Okay, my second husband was not that way. And that's the situation that I'm talking about. But that doesn't mean that there wasn't love there at some point. There was. But his desire to move on and have a different experience had absolutely nothing to do with me as a woman or who I was or what I was doing. I took it so personally and I took her personally. It was like, oh, I've been replaced. Nobody replaced anybody. It was a different experience. That's all it was. And I realized that now. Now, when I was going through it, I couldn't see the forest through the trees. Okay, couldn't have cried myself out of a paper bag. But in retrospect, time does heal. Time is the answer to a lot of things. But so is forgiveness. And that day was the last remnant of it. For me to be able to move really forward now and not carry this extra luggage that I had no idea I was carrying that was full of rocks. Rocks of resentment and jealousy and envy and hatred and meanness and just right, that I didn't even realize I was still carrying. Now I know. I feel so much better. So, like I said, there's someone out there who's resonating with this. All right, there's a reason I'm doing this video. I was called to do this video and to talk about that experience. I'm glad I saw her. And if you are watching this video, thank you. Thank you for being of service to me. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to choose again. Thank you. From the bottom of my heart, I really do. I am grateful because you don't know who you are until you know who you are not. And I'm going to say that again. As a spiritual being having this human experience, we forget who we truly are when we're born. Okay, we don't realize our amazingness until we wake up. And that's what all these videos are for. But in this human experience, we don't know who we truly are until we know who we are not. And I am not a resentful person. I am not somebody that just holds on to pain forever and ever and ever. And I am not a person that does not choose love. I do choose love. My whole life has been that way. That's just kind of the way I am. But we all are. And if you want a better experience, if you want to be free of, gosh, all this stuff that we carry, then choose again. Choose again. Ask for it. Now, somewhere in my subconscious mind, I must have wanted this opportunity to let this go because it appeared. And I wasn't going to go to this event. I went because I felt like I had to go. Something was telling me I needed to go. And in form, I thought the person that I was supposed to go to see was my friend, and that was the reason. And it was to some degree, but the real healing, the real miracle was that moment when I got to just look into her eyes, see her light, and realize she is a child of God too, just like me. And we are all on this journey. Guys, it's not easy for some of us. For some of us, it's a little easier. For some of us, it's not. And we really are on the same ladder. We're just on different rungs. So who am I to judge? I'm not anyone to judge anybody else. But I can pray for you, and I can send you love, and I can send you light. I can help you by sharing with you my experiences here and what that meant for me. It's completely closed. That chapter, that was the most dramatic chapter, I think, of my experience so far, is done. It's done. And it didn't end with this, cliffhanger drama. We are very dramatic. It didn't end with that. I thought that was the ending. No, there was a few more pages left on that chapter. It ended in the moment that I chose love and that I got to see her soul and her light. And she helped me in more ways than she will ever know. So, spirit woman, my friend, I send you my love and I send you blessings for continued life on this planet, that it be blessed and that it be joyful and that you know your worthiness. And that is my prayer for anyone, for everyone watching this video. I hope that you know how special you are and how important you are to this world, and that you are lovable, and that you are worthy, and that you are enough. You are enough. And if I'm talking to someone who has been unfaithful to someone else, just know that their forgiveness will come. Send them love and try to find it in your heart to just allow them their feelings, but send them love. Okay? Love, guys, trumps everything. Love is all there is. Only love is real. Only love is real. So be loving today. Be loving to your family. Be loving to your pets or anyone around you. But be loving to you, to yourself. That is the message for today. Be loving to yourself. And don't carry around backpacks, luggage, and suitcases full of resentment for something that happened years ago. It doesn't serve you anymore. You don't have to suffer. Let it go. Just let it go. Forgiveness, guys, is not so much for the other person, but for you. And I'm free. I am free from all that I didn't even know I was carrying. See, I wish you the most beautiful moment. I send you all my love. I send you all my joy and huge hugs and great big miracles. May they be yours. May you find in this moment the truth of who you are. Because in this moment, you, my spirit friend, my joyful soul, you are love. You are love beyond measure, forever and ever, for all of eternity, no matter what. Namaste. Have a beautiful afternoon, evening, morning, wherever you are. Talk to you soon.